Assalamu alaikum. The countdown has begun. Ramadan is nearing its end, and today marks a day that changed the course of the very origins of Islam in the Arabian Peninsula. The 17th of Ramadan is remembered as the day when the first battle of Islam was fought during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Battle of Badr is known for various reasons: the divine intervention, the way it shifted the power dynamics, and the courage, bravery, and resilience shown by 313 Muslims at the time. So in today's video, we will explore different perspectives on this historic event beyond the well-known ones. We will also talk about the why, how, and what behind these. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. At number 1, we have Yaum al-Furqan. In Surah Al-Anfal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Yaum al-Badr as Yaum al-Furqan, and I quote, "If you truly believe in Allah and what we revealed to our servant on that decisive day when the two armies met at Badr." The Battle of Badr was a defining moment in Islamic history. This was the day that drew a clear line between truth and falsehood. The meaning of Furqan is to separate or distinguish. This day also exposed who truly stood for Islam and who hesitated. The Quran also mentions the term Furqan to refer to the Quran itself as a means to distinguish between truth and falsehood, right and wrong. So it wasn't just a war, it was a day that defined the future of Islam. The second perspective we have is about how the Battle of Badr laid down the ethics of warfare. Badr established that war was not just about power or wealth, it was about justice. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Fight in the way of Allah. Those who fight you, do not transgress. Indeed, Allah does not love transgressors." Al-Baqarah. Even in battle, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave strict instructions: no harming women, children, elderly, or non-combatants. No mutilating bodies, no killing prisoners unnecessarily. One of the greatest examples was how the Muslim army treated the captives of Badr. Instead of torture or revenge, the prisoners were given food and shelter, sometimes even better than what the Muslims had at the time. Some were freed without ransom, while others were allowed to earn their freedom by educating Muslim children. The third angle is how it was a symbol of divine intervention. We all know how the Muslims were outnumbered, 313 against 1,000, armed with barely anything. But this battle was more about trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the clear signs of divine intervention was the arrival of the angels. Allah mentions it in Surah Al-Anfal, "Remember when you cried out to your Lord for help. He answered, I will reinforce you with 1,000 angels, followed by many more." Another sign was the sudden rainfall before the battle began. While it strengthened the Muslim camp, it made the ground muddy and unstable for the Quraysh. Another angle is how it was a trial and not just a victory. While the Battle of Badr is often remembered as a great victory, it was also a test. The Muslims were not just fighting an enemy, they were also confronting their fears, doubts, and sacrifices. Allah mentions this test in the Quran, "Just as your Lord brought you out of your home for truth, even though a party of the believers disliked it." Even after victory, the trial wasn't over. The way they treated the prisoners, the humility they maintained, and the reliance they had on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after the success, all of it was part of the test. And finally, the psychological battle. Badr wasn't just a physical confrontation, it was also a mental and emotional test. The Muslims were outnumbered and under-equipped. They also had to battle fear, doubt, and the weight of standing for the truth. For the Muslims, the biggest challenge was facing an enemy that included their own relatives. The test wasn't just about fighting, it was about loyalty. It's clear from these reflections that it was Yaum al-Furqan, the day that separated truth from falsehood. The legacy of Badr isn't just history, it's a reminder for us today. The same Allah who helped 313 against 1,000 is the one who helps those who rely on Him. May we learn from the courage, trust and sacrifice of the Sahabas who stood that day and apply those lessons in our own lives. Assalamu alaikum.